Hi, my name is Leslie Gregory, and I practice preventive medicine in Portland, Oregon. In 2015, I wrote a letter to CDC asking why they haven't declared racism a threat to public health, even though it meets all 4 criteria, and health disparities are increasing and costing estimates of tens of billions of dollars in the setting of healthcare finance gridlock and increasing contention in politics. That response amounted to we have no evidence-based best practices for how to address it, and here's what we're doing instead. This consisted of having black barbers learn to take blood pressures and a plan called Healthy People 2020. Meanwhile, I have discussed the matter with thought leaders around the country, including Dr. David R. Williams of the Harvard School of Public Health, Dr. Kamara Jones from Morehouse, and Christina Bethel of Johns Hopkins, who all agree and have no illusions about CDC's intention and the example of institutional racism. In my opinion, one of the biggest problems is that policymakers and even stakeholders typically have never sat in front of a patient, and the top-down approach has been insufficient to really demonstrate the global changes needed to address the legacy of racism and its impact on the health of all Americans, not just blacks. This message needs to be promulgated such that majority culture will have enlightened self-interest involved in addressing these disparities and may even disclose a clue to poor health outcomes despite the largest healthcare budget among advanced cultures. Another problem is that institutions don't need to work, afford health care, balance work and personal life, and in fact are funded by all of us, and as are the employees at this healthcare institution. This was made clear by a follow-up phone call to CDC, where an employee disclosed to me that racism's health impact is known, but that the culture of the workplace is to keep one's head down and not make waves. This promises to only continue in the current environment, which necessitates a more general public outcry, and there is precedent. A letter written by a group called HP3 was sent to CDC regarding the new opioid guidelines and resulted in clarification of those new prescribing guidelines. We ask nothing less for a community ravaged by the health impacts of racism over generations.